Ahoy me hearties. We're going to be doing a little project for making a shadow puppet theater. So for this you'll need a fairly good size box. This is a rather large one I have from where I work. And to start with, you'll need to take a pencil. Nice handy little drawing instrument. And you're going to draw your screen first. And you want to leave several inches around the border to give the box structure. And you can see I come up a little bit higher on the bottom for a stage. And it's hard to see in this video here, but I did a fancy little scallop top, kind of like curtains around the top, and that's really what I wanted to go with. So once you get that drawed out, fairly simple stuff first, then you need to get a cutting tool. I'm using a X-Acto knife here. Now parents, if you're doing this with children, make sure you're the one handling the sharp instruments now. We don't need any of them have to come around with a hook later on, now do we? Ha ha ha. So first, after we draw everything out, then we're going to go back and we're going to cut. Real simple stuff here, okay? So we'll start by following my line. Now, when I cut cardboard, I like to just score the line first, not go all the way through right away. This makes it kind of easier, that way you're not sitting there trying to saw very hard, and it's a little easier on the blade over time. Alright, let's see. Now a fancy little top up here. Now curved lines, that scoring really works better for those. Straight lines, maybe you could just saw those on in deeper, but these curved lines, scoring them lets it stay nice and even and keeps you from sliding off and going where you don't want to. More. And now for the corner. There. Now I've got it all scored, and now I'm just going to go back over that and cut until I come all the way through, and I'm going to pop that right out. Alright, so I went back over all my lines and I've cut it out, and pow, just like that. Now I have the front of my theater. You can see the little scallop top there. It's going to help out with how the theater looks a little bit. Here, let me get a better view. Haha, just like that. Now that we got the front taken care of, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tape this side shut. We've got to cut out a place for our light. Would have been real convenient if I did the other way and I could have just cut out that circle. But I need to put a circle in what is going to be the top. There's the top of our theater. So this needs to be right here where we need a light. Let's just draw it in the middle, not the top. Okay. Draw me a rough circle. I'm trying to set this out a little bit better. Using a plate or a bowl would probably do better than what I just did, just trying to freehand a circle. Haha, there we go. It's not a terribly bad circle as it is. Oh, knocking my camera over. Can't be doing that again. There. So now we have a circle, and this will be where we put our light. Now, the light can be a flashlight. It can be a lamp. Can be one of those fancy little stick-up lights that you just push to touch. If you do that with a push-to-touch light that just sticks on, you don't have to cut the hole. You just stick it on the inside of the box. So this will be where our light source goes in. So the light's going to shine in from the back and shine out to the front of our theater where we're going to put our screen in a few minutes. But first, after we get the light source cut into the back, we need to make an access for where we're going to put our puppets. Now we're going to do that on one of the sides, or both the sides if there's going to be more than one of you doing the puppet show. So what we'll do, we'll just cut as I can freehand, just cut some straight lines. A couple layers thick where it's folded. Like I say, multiple passes makes it easier. When you're doing things like cutting leather, make several passes when you're trying to cut out a leather piece, just like I'm doing with this cardboard here. Make one pass to mark your line, and then just keep going over it with more than one pass, because if you try to sit there and cut it all at once, your blade could squirrel off to the side and do something you don't intend, and then you have to throw that piece away and start over or reshape it. So it's easier just to make more than one pass and take your time on it and get it right the first time. And there we go. Now, let's see what our theater is looking like here. So, we've got our theater front here, and then we have our light source here in the back, and now we have an access here in the side. So, that's going to work out good. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this, tape up that side, and shut it off. And then I'm going to decorate a little bit maybe, but I'm going to put a screen here, and I'll be more about the screen in just a moment. Alright, so I've painted my theater front, and I've also cut to fit me a piece of white paper. Now this is going to be my screen. The light's going to show on and our shadows are going to show up on. Well, what you want to do is cut it where it's just bigger than your screen front here, or your theater front. You don't want it to be where you can't tape. Ah, there we go. Now, didn't see none of that, did you? Let's turn this and bring you down here. There you go. Now you can see, gotcha. Ha. So, get my screen inside the box. I want it where it's just away from the edges so I can get me some tape in there. And I'm going to tape me one corner down. There we go. Now, when you get your paper, you can use several different things. You can use butcher's paper, you can use wax paper, you can use parchment paper, but make sure that it is not non-stick. Because if you use non-stick, well, by God, the tape won't stick to it, and that leads to problems. Trust me, that'd be a lesson learned on this particular project for myself. So use that tidbit of advice as you will and save yourself some time. Let me turn this. Work through a small hole here. Now you want your screen to be tight, but you don't want to tear it. You just don't want the wrinkles in it, and you don't want any light to show around the sides. If a little bit does, that's fine. Things don't always have to be 100% perfect. Just do the best you can. Because after all, this is more about the shadow puppets, and it will be about your theater front. There in the middle. And I think you need me one more piece down here at the bottom. Darn tape won't want to come off the roll. There we go. Cut me a couple more pieces. There. Now, tape one here at the bottom, and another one. Oh. Cut that in half. And I'll tape one here and there. Now there we have our theater front, and our light will shine in from the back and hit this, and then we'll put our puppets in between the light source and the screen, and it'll give us our illusion we're going for. Now, I'll be right back again, and we'll work on some puppets. Alright, so now that we've got our theater built over there, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our shadow puppets. So, well, I mean, of course it's going to be a pirate, isn't it? So what I did, I printed off me some images from the Magic computer box. And I took them and I pasted them with a glue stick to some poster board. See, it's just glued down. And then I went back and I cut them out. Now you could use scissors. It's going to take a bit of work with scissors, but I used the X-Acto tool earlier. And I cut these out in detail. And what you're going to do with these guys, now you'll notice that I didn't cut all the white off. That's okay, because some of these details don't transfer over very well. So what we're going to do is, now that we have them cut out, I'm going to flip them over to their backside. And I've taken a coat hanger and I've cut it in twain, and I've bent the ends over. And what this is going to do is we're going to affix that to the back of our puppets. This is going to be our handle. So got that bent over already. So I need to take some tape. This is how I'm going to fasten it to it. Now, there's a little hot tip. Take a piece of tape, bend it over, cut it off, and use that as your saver, so you can find the end of your tape a lot easier the next time you need to cut a piece. So I'm going to cut that off. Take my end saver, stick that back to it. Now, first thing I'm going to do, instead of just trying to tape this straight to there, I'm going to make me something that'll giving something to hold on to. So I'm going to put my piece of tape on my bent over piece first. I'm just going to fold that over. Just like that. So now I have a little tab there that I can tape to. So I'll take and put this on here and tape it down. Now, I don't want it straight. I want it to be a little bit of an angle, depending on how I'm going to hold it in the box. So let's get us another piece of tape. And see over to my roll. I'll cut me another piece. Catch me end. Now this one, I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to put one piece across the top. And because I'm going to be holding them in there at an angle, I'm going to give it a little turn and put it on there at an angle. I'm just going to stick that down there. And the other piece, I'm going to stick that down as well. There. Now, my pirate can stand up. I can make him walk. And make him sit there. He can talk in car, and I can move him across and move him around. And I have a nice little handle. Now, what that'll be for, turn my theater. Let's get in here where we can see, shall we? Alright. So looking inside our theater, you can see, let's get on down here. You can see our screen in here. I'm going to reach him in there, and I can put him up against the screen. Give this a little bend, shall we? There. Now, I can put him up against the screen and sit there and move him around, and he can talk and say, "Yar, mateys, shiver me timbers, all hands on deck." Now, that works out fantastic, doesn't it? Now, back over here. Now, I can do some more tweaking to this rod, put a little bend in there. Excuse me, I can tweak it a little bit more so it's a little bit easier, and I can position him wherever I need him to be on this screen for my story-wise, see? And that is a simple way to make puppets. Now, you can be a little fancy, and you can cut the arms free, and you can repin them on there, say with one of the little notebook brads, or make a little hinge, as it were, and then you can use another wire and make the arms move if you wanted to have them sword fight, or something fancy like that. And that will be your puppets. But that takes one person operates one puppet. and you would need another person if there was another puppet in there to operate and make them fight each other. But that's just a simple rundown of how to affix your puppets. See, that's nice and secure for now. We're not going to be banging it around, and I'm going to trim up all this tape that overrun into the thing so it doesn't cast any unwanted shadows.